Hello everyone, thank you for watching the channel. If you like the video content, please hit like and subscribe to the channel to watch the latest videos.
Introduction: the allure of Greenwich Village. New York City has always been one giant film set. If you stroll through the red brick streets of Greenwich Village, you'll inevitably run into crowds of tourists surrounding Carrie Bradshaw's brownstone from Sex and the City at 66 Perry Street, or perhaps trekking down to Tribeca to marvel at the iconic firehouse from Ghostbusters. But no location holds a magnetic pull quite like the corner of Bedford and Grove Streets. Standing tall here is 90 Bedford Street, a building known to millions of fans worldwide as the home of Monica, Rachel Chandler, and Joey from the legendary sitcom Friends. However, there's a biting irony here. While the world remembers this corner for the warm laughter and cozy 90s nostalgia of the show, these very same red brick walls, just 20 years prior, shielded a group of radical extremists who were prepared to use bombs and fire to reshape the world. Historical context and the unfriendly neighbors. Built in 1899, 90 Bedford Street is a quintessential early 20th century New York walk-up, featuring 6 stories and ubiquitous iron fire escapes that define the Manhattan skyline. Since 1969, it has been protected as part of the Greenwich Village Historic District, which is why its exterior remains virtually unchanged from the Vietnam War era to the present day. In the mid-1960s, the second-floor apartment wasn't home to a clean freak chef like Monica Geller. Instead, it was the residence of Sharon Krebs, a political activist in her mid-30s with hard-left, militant ideologies. Krebs' life was a series of escalating radical actions. 1966, arrested for peddling anti-Vietnam War merchandise. 1968, arrested for inciting a riot at Columbia University during a visit by Vice President Hubert Humphrey. The climax: Krebs and an accomplice disrupted a Humphrey campaign rally by stripping naked and brandishing a severed pig's head, a shocking act of defiance, intended to humiliate the establishment. Weather Underground, when blast replaced laughter. By 1970, Krebs had joined the Weather Underground, commonly known as the Weather. This was no peaceful protest group. It was a professional domestic terrorist organization. Their goal was the violent overthrow of the U.S. government through targeted bombings. History records the grim trail of their campaign in Chicago. They repeatedly blew up a statue commemorating fallen police officers at Haymarket Square, striking 3 times, often immediately after the city had finished repairs. The days of rage. They turned the streets of Chicago into a literal war zone, resulting in dozens of injured officers and several members of the group being shot. The Greenwich Village tragedy, just a few blocks away from the Friends apartment, on March 6, 1970. A townhouse was completely demolished when a bomb the group was constructing accidentally detonated, killing 3 weathermen. The dawn raid at 90 Bedford. The apartment at 90 Bedford wasn't just Krebs' home. She shared the space with Joyce Pletcher, a 25-year-old fellow member of the Weathermen. These 2 women, along with 4 other conspirators, turned this apartment into a command center for a series of planned arson attacks, timed to coincide with the anniversary of the death of Black people. Leader Fred Hampton. Their targets were highly sensitive. The former law offices of President Richard Nixon at 30 Broad Street, the East 5th Street Police Station. However, luck favored New York that day. At dawn on December 4th, 1970, the FBI and NYPD swooped in, catching the group in the act of stockpiling gasoline near one of the targets. When police searched the apartment at 90 Bedford Street, the very place where TV audiences would later see overstuffed armchairs and a purple door, they recovered Viet Cong flags and a horde of militant propaganda and incendiary materials. A dual legacy. Following the trial, Sharon Krebs was sentenced to 4 years in prison, while Joyce Pletcher received 3. The terrorist hideout was cleared, eventually giving way to the passage of time and the rise of a television phenomenon. Today, if you dine at the Little Owl restaurant on the ground floor, which fans often mistake for Central Perk, You'll see endless lines of people smiling for photos. They are remembering the fictional bond of 6 friends, completely unaware that beneath their feet, 50 years ago, bombs are being built and deadly plots were being hatched. 90 Bedford Street remains a strange monument to New York history, a place that is simultaneously a symbol of the city's warmest fictional memories and a remnant of its darkest real-world chapters.